One. Hello and welcome to another edition of Full Follow. With me today, I have Brad. How you doing tonight, Brad?
I'm doing good, sir. How you doing?
Doing well.
Good.
So my first question is, where are you from?
I'm from Michigan, about an hour north of Detroit.
Okay. And how long have you been racing, sir?
Ooh, since 1988, about
1988,
yeah, about 35 years.
35 years. And has it always been with the ARCA series?
Yeah, we that's right where we started was with ARCA. Yep.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about uh your career up until this point. Where do you see yourself heading as we inch closer to maybe the end of your career? I know most people like you like to relax and hang out and retire pretty early, but you seem like you have racing in your blood.
Yeah, the racing bug bit me pretty hard and pretty young. So we got started in ARCA in 1988, and we've always enjoyed ARCA. It's really good. It's competitive racing. Um, Back then, we used to kind of call it blue collar racing because a lot of the guys that raced, had full time jobs and worked during the day and then worked on their cars at night and took them to whatever speedway on the weekend and, kind of went out there and ran with the big boys a little bit.
Yeah. So tell me, Brad, what's some of the goals you have set yourself for 2024, heading off to Daytona in this a week and a half, 2 weeks?
Yeah, right now we're just kind of struggling to get a car finished. Um, we pretty much used up all our stuff last year. So we've got three cars. We've been, rebuilding the cars. We've been, servicing at least the upper half of the motors. And it's going to be a challenge to get there and be competitive, but we'll get it done. We'll be there.
Oh, that's awesome. So how many years have you been going to Daytona then?
I think first time I went to Daytona was about 1996.
Oh,
Yeah, I drove for Wayne Peterson back then for that Daytona race.
yeah. So tell me, what what is your plan moving forward this year? How many races you doing? Are you doing the whole ARCA schedule, or what's the plan for 2024? Or can you say?
Well, the tentative plan is to run the whole ARCA Menard series and then run the ARCA East series also.
All
So
right.
yeah, so we're gonna hang in there as best we can. Obviously we're a low budget team, so disaster can strike and knock us out for a few races, but the plan right now is to run them all like we always do.
All right. So tell me, who is your favorite role model in racing?
I would have to say it was James Hilton. When I was a youngster, I watched him run. Um, and at the time he was driving Dodges and my dad worked at Chrysler, so it was pretty easy to make James one of my favorites. And then, of course, when I got the opportunity to drive for James in the ARCA series, I realized just what a special guy he was. I mean, he was very knowledgeable, very personable, and I learned a lot from him. I thought I knew a fair amount before that, but when I got teamed up with James, I learned there was a whole lot of stuff I didn't. So
Yeah, so talk to us about the ARCA car itself. Um, they're pretty safe. I know they're kind of the older NASCAR cars, and basically that you guys use spotters, so
yep.
I bet you're looking forward. What do you look for in a spotter when you're racing? What does Brad want to hear in a spotter? A lot of chatter on the radio, or just mediocre?
Yeah, I'm probably one of the few drivers that likes a lot of chatter. I like somebody who keeps me well informed on what's going on around me. You know, we're not one of the front running teams. So a lot of times I'd like to know when the leaders are coming up on us so we can stay out of the way. I mean, we don't want to take out the leaders or affect the outcome of a race. So I like knowing what's going on. And I've been lucky. I've always had pretty good spotters, you know, guys who've been able to paint the picture on what's going on behind me and around me, you know, so that we can plan appropriately.
Yeah. So who helped you get to the racetrack? Um, I'd be remiss if we didn't go over your sponsors.
Yeah, this year we had a little bit of a change, where it had been primarily me and my brother up until this point. I got hooked up with a guy I used to race with, Rick Tackman, and his son, and they've been doing a lot of work on the cars during the week. And they're the ones that are gonna get our cars to the track this year.
Alrighty.
Mhm.
So what what do you have any plans to want to go in further down the road into NASCAR more in depth?
Well, obviously that's probably every kid's dream, so to speak, is to get to NASCAR. But you know, the reality is you got to have a lot of sponsorship, a lot of money, and nowadays, if you're over 21 or 22 years old, you're considered old. So you
Yeah.
know, getting to big time NASCAR really isn't a reality. I mean, obviously, we'd jump at the chance if somebody said, "Hey, go take our car for a ride." See what you can do. But I'm pretty content running ARCA. You know, we go plenty fast and it's plenty competitive. So, you know, I've got a group of guys I'm used to racing against most weekends, and I'm very happy doing that.
All right. So what do you expect out of Daytona? What's a good run in the ARCA? I think it's 200 miles in Daytona, isn't it?
Yep, 200 miles, 80 laps. Um,
Yeah. So
yeah,
what's a good day going to be going into Daytona for you?
well, at a restrictor plate race, finishing is a good day. Um, you know, we've had really good cars that we weren't able to finish Daytona or Talladega with because we would get caught up in the big one. So, you know, we just want to run out there. We want to stay on the lead lap. We're going to hang back a little bit, and then with 20 laps to go, if we're still on the lead lap, you know, then we're going to make a run. We'll see what we can do.
Well, you don't have to deal with the likes of Bobby Gayhart, or at least which I don't think you do. I haven't seen the entry list, but I do have the ARCA schedule right in front of me here.
Okay.
So let's go through this. So on uh on so you start out in Daytona and then you go to it looks like Phoenix. Are you
Yep.
looking forward to Phoenix?
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Phoenix is a long haul for a little team like us, especially coming from Detroit.
Yeah, and then jumping further ahead, you go to Dover.
Yep.
You and gets a couple weeks, and
Yep.
then you come to Iowa, my home race car. So talk to us about Iowa Speedway. Do you like coming here to Iowa Speedway or
Yeah. I love Iowa Speedway. It's a short track. it's like a big track, you know what I mean? It's 7/8 of a mile, it's banked. I mean, we basically run it the same way we run a speedway.
All right. So, would you happen to say out of all the races I'm mentioning, Daytona is probably a course first to be most excited for, but then a close second might be um Kansas or Iowa. Which one
You
which
know,
one do you
I like them both. You know, we've done well at Kansas, um, and we've done well at Iowa. So, I mean, every track kind of has its unique personality. And you know, Iowa's the big short track for us, and Kansas is one of those mile and a half intermediates that we enjoy going to also. You know, the fans of both Iowa and Kansas are fantastic. You know, we have
Yeah,
an autograph
I know.
section.
I
Yeah,
know because I'm trying to get, learn how to sing the national anthem at Iowa Speedway or somewhere for you guys. So you might see me singing the national anthem. Who knows?
there you go.
Um, but real quick, is there anyone you'd like to thank before we wrap up?
Well, I for sure have to thank Rick Tackman and his son. They stepped up this year. My brother and I, we lost our shop and we didn't have really anywhere to work on the cars, especially in the winter time. And like I said, I got teamed up with Rick, and he's been absolutely fantastic. He's been great to work with, very cooperative, very understanding of our budget. And if it wasn't for him and his son, I wouldn't be going to Daytona this year. So I have to thank him. And then I also have a number of true guys that go to the different races. I got a group of guys from New Jersey that come to a fair amount of the more eastern races. They've been very helpful. Terry Strange, who worked with James Hilton, stuck with the team, you know, after James's tragic accident. And he's been, you know, a great source of information and very helpful. And I mean, there's a lot of people. This isn't a one person sport by any means. And you know, a lot of guys that just come and help push the car, you know, make a big difference on weekends.
Yeah. So I just have one more follow-up question and we'll let you go.
Okay.
Um, who do you think is your biggest role model in racing? I mean, like in this decade, who do you talk to? Who do you, who does Brad go to for advice? I mean, you're pretty old. You're you're pretty well respected in the class, I would
Uh-huh.
presume. And so, if there's any advice you have for young racers that might want to make their start in ARCA or any racing out there, what would it be and why?
Um, I tell them to just respect all the other teams that they're racing against because, you know, we all have a lot of money, a lot of effort. You know, racing can be a brutal sport sometimes too. And you know, a young guy coming in that shows respect is going to get respect. And again, with respect comes a lot of networking opportunities. People will share advice more freely with you. You'll get better deals on used parts, used cars, used motors, things like that. So, you know, I think the ability to come in and fit in is a good way to move themselves forward.
Well, Brad, it's been such an honor to get to know you in this short time, this short conversation. But I think we're pretty good on everything. So thank you for coming on for follow tonight. And God bless you and good luck in the tournament, sir.
Thank you, Justin. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you having me on your podcast. Thank you.
Goodbye, everyone.